Hey there everyone, welcome back to GameWright, and my name is Dave, and today we're going to be looking at a whimsical game of cooperation called Forbidden Desert. Now it's produced by GameWright and done very nicely, I might add, and they even keep it at a reasonable price. I have not seen this game shoot up over $20 in a while, if ever. And it's designed by a really renowned cooperative game designer named Matt Leacock. Now Matt actually designed the game Pandemic, along with a game that was called Forbidden Island that came out before Forbidden Desert here. This is the second series in the Forbidden series, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be making more. Forbidden Island is kind of a different game, a bit easier, and this game, I would say, of course, is a bit harder and has its own charm, and they stand out from each other. So if you have one, you probably want to get the other anyway. So without further ado, let's get to the review. Though, before we do that, I do want to mention on the last GameWright review of Qwixx, I announced that I would be doing a giveaway of GameWright's Qwixx in the shrink wrap here. Now, it's actually sponsored by GameWright. Now, thank you so much, GameWright, for your belief in us and your sponsorship. And in order to apply to the giveaway, you needed to answer a question which I proposed on the Qwixx video, which a few people did. Sorry for the long wait, though I just wanted to have people actually apply and get as many names. So with that being said, I'm going to invite my esteemed colleague, my co-host, Earls, to draw the name. So good luck to everyone who applied. Keep a look. Come on over. Keep a lookout on your emails from a email from GameVine. The winner's going to get one, and I will go into the personal details, about sending address and all that a little later on. So the winner is Doug Nasalroad. Doug Nasalroad, congratulations! You are the new owner of a brand new copy of Qwixx. Keep a lookout for your email. Now, if Doug doesn't answer back in about 2 weeks or so, we're just going to go down the line and give the Qwixx to the next person. So continue to look at your email. Thank you so much, GameWright, and thank you so much all the fans that answered the question about Qwixx. Basically, the answer was brothers. And I'm very excited to announce another giveaway sponsored by GameWright again. Now we're going to be giving away a copy of Forbidden Desert, and it's going to be another question and answer, so I'm going to propose the question at the end of the video. Make sure to leave the right answer down in the comments here to apply to the actual giveaway. I'm going to announce the winner of this Forbidden Desert copy in the loot review from GameWright. So we're going to be doing this here in the next few weeks, so please apply, and good luck to the next winner of Forbidden Desert, brand new shrink wrap copy. So without further ado, let's show you how this cooperative, fun, whimsical game actually plays, right? Let's go. Let's go. Okay, let me start by saying congratulations, Doug, on your win of Qwixx, and let me also say good luck to the rest of you on winning the copy of Forbidden Desert on the loot review. I will put the question on the end of the video, and of course you'll put your answers down in the comments. But let's get into this. Okay, so let's get into what is in the tin. And I'm just going to start by saying GameWright hit this one out of the park. A+ with the components. It's one of my favorite parts of the game, and you're going to learn that's kind of a pattern with me liking this game. But I'm ahead of myself at this point. Let's go down the line with these fantastic components and tell you what's in the tin. First, we'll go with the thick tiles of cardboard. This is basically your landscape. This is what you're going to be moving on and what the sand's going to be piling up on, and what you're going to be using to get the parts of the ship, the ancient ship that you need to get out of the desert. So that is the tile pieces. This is the ship that I was talking about, and it has 4 different pieces along with this model, and they fit nicely. 3 of them are actually plastic, and the other one is like lead or pewter or metal or something. They all form onto the ship very nicely. As you can see, this gem goes in here and powers the ship. The ancient ship compass helps it go to where it needs to go. Propeller, oh, I've about messed that up, goes on the back here, and this metal piece right here. It's just so nice. Look at this. Fits perfectly in there. And you're trying to build this ship to get out of the desert because your helicopter has crash landed. So that is the ship in its entirety. The next cardboard component is the sand tiles, and they're thick and they're double-sided. And I'll get into why later. Yes, and these are double-sided, and you get 48 of these sand tokens, and you get 24 of these location tokens, by the way. The next thing here, you just get a few of these dials, these black plastic dials. You're going to need these on the cards, and the component here that I'm going to go over next. This is the storm meter. So it goes into this little gear stand, kind of just stands up like this, and you're going to put one of those scales on there. I mean, these components are just, they blow me away. So the cards, well, let's get into the explorers here. These are also wood, little ponds, nothing special, but I mean, they're nicely painted. And you get into the cards here, the 6 explorer cards, and they all have a breakdown of the actions and the turn order, and they have the special abilities and how much water the person has. So those are the explorers. The next cards over here are the equipment. I've sleeved them. They're nicely finished with linen. I mean, the cards are really nice too. Every aspect of these components just was well done. As you can see, the back here is really nice art. And the next set of cards we're going to get into are the 31 storm cards. The back here is just a compass, really nice art. Again, they're finished with linen. And there are 3 different types of cards. There are storm picks up cards, nice art, and direction cards, or where the storm's going to go, and then the sun beats down. And I'll get into what those do on the how-to portion of the video. So there are 31 of those, and GameWright always does. They have their little advertisements that you can send in. The manual is nicely laid out. I like the art in it, and the rules are displayed well. So that is what comes in the tin of Forbidden Desert. Now let's get into how to play this cooperative game. Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay, so let me set the scene real fast. So in Forbidden Desert, you were traveling across this desert looking for treasure because you're a treasure hunter, and your chopper went down. And you found, I guess, plans or blueprints for this ancient, mysterious ship, which you can find and get yourself out of the desert. So that is what you're trying to do. So you have to find the site of the base of the ship and the 4 pieces that actually make it work. And once you do that, you find the pieces, you go to the site, and then you fly off into the bright blue sky, and you don't die in the desert. So that is basically what the goal is in Forbidden Desert. So you start the game by shuffling these prior stated explorer cards, and you can see all the text on the back, and then you deal them out, and you get a color pawn based on what explorer you get, and then you take a little arrow here and you put it on your water. Some players have more water than others, and you might gain water or you might lose it. And in fact, if you lose all your water, you die, and that is one of the game ending conditions, because if one person dies, everyone loses, so that you don't want that to happen. So I have the explorer and the meteorologist. I will get into what they do a little later. So what you can do on your turn, I have the map set up here in a 5x5 grid, with the middle piece being the storm itself, with you can see the sand tiles already on the map here. You can take up to 4 actions, but of course you're going to take all your actions. What you can do simply is move for 1 action, and you can go anywhere you want. You got to go horizontal or vertical. You can't move diagonal unless you are the explorer, which that's his power. But you can move for 1 action each, or you can clear sand. You can clear sand in any adjacent spot or a spot that you are actually on for 1 action. So if you cleared both of these, that would be 2 actions. And the other thing that you can do is excavate. You can excavate the place that you are on and gain whatever is on the back. And if it has cogs here, you just simply take one of the equipment pieces and hang on to it and deal with it later. And that happens right away and doesn't happen again. The other places that you can excavate, let's go through the tiles, are the pieces. So I like how they laid this out. This is really intelligent and interesting way to set up a map. So they have columns and rows, and as you can see the arrows are pointing this way. We now know the crystal is in this column here. And if we go ahead and I think it's flip this one here, we now know it's in this row. So the piece is right there. We now know if we travel there and we use an action to pick up a part, that's the last thing you can do, and add it to the ship. Of course we haven't found the ship, but you're basically gathering all the pieces to eventually add them to the ship. And that's how those pieces work. There are other ones here as well that are the pieces, and you have to clear all the sand before you can excavate any tile. So that has to happen. There's the motor. We now know the motor is in this row here. The other things that are on the tile are the tunnels. The tunnels here this one has a cog. You of course have an opportunity to get equipment here. You can travel to other tunnels because there are let's see, is this one up here? Yeah, this is a tunnel. So you, instead of moving, you can just use your action to move through the tunnel and go there. And also helps you from losing water when the sun beats down. I'll get into that a little later. The other places that are on the tiles are the landing site. So this is basically the ship here. Once you find this is where you have to get all the pieces to. So once we have all them, we'll go here, and once all players are on that tile and all pieces are gathered, we fly off and win the game. So that's basically how the game is played out. Seems easy, right? Well, you would be wrong there. The storm is going to be moving and adding a lot of sand to the game. So yeah, one of the other game enders is the sand itself. Now you have 48 tiles and it doesn't look like it's going to deplete really fast, but trust me, it becomes a vacuum. So let me show you how the sand works. It basically is based all around the storm cards, which is indicated on how many you draw right here on the scale, and I'll go over the scale a little more later, but we're playing on novice. You can go legendary if you want, but this game is pretty challenging already. So whenever we have to draw storm cards, at the moment we're drawing 2. So you'll take your 4 actions as it says on the card here, and then draw the storm card. So we always have the compass up top here. This one says it moves right 2, so that's 2 tiles that move right, and you always go from the space that is the actual storm, and every time a tile moves you'll put a sand tile on it. And when you have multiple from 2, so the second one gets placed on its red side, and beyond that it will continue to be placed on its red side, that means you can no longer move onto that tile. And if you happen to be on that tile when it got this high, you are buried and you can't move off until you actually clear the tiles of sand. And there's no limit to how many sand tiles can be on one tile. So that's basically how the sand works. You'll continue to draw these, keeping the compass up top and moving it. It can't move off the board, so say if it moved that way, if it wanted to move a tile to the left here, it doesn't happen and you actually get a free turn. So that's kind of nice when it happens. So the end of the game with the sand is if you can no longer draw any sand tiles when it tells you to, the game is over. You are considered buried. So that is one of the other game enders. So you can also lose with the scale here. This is associated with the Storm Picks Up cards. There are 3 of these in the deck, and you'll continue to shuffle. So you'll be drawing 2, 3. Every time you draw one, you move it up a notch, and you'll get all the way up to 5. And if you ever get here, that is another game ender. So like I said, the water is a game ender, the sand is a game ender, and the scale is a game ender. That is bad. You all lose, but you can win game ender by leaving and getting out of the desert. The other way, like I said, the water is the sun beats down card. It's right here. There are also 3 of these. Every time this gets drawn, everyone loses 1 water unless you are in a tunnel or you have this solar shield here and you've activated it. This also keeps you from losing water. The other tiles that we have here that I forgot to mention are the water tiles. These here, if you move onto them, and every person that is on the well when it is excavated gains a water. So that's pretty nice, but not all water tiles are actually water. This one is a mirage, so you can travel all the way there hoping to get that precious water and lose out. So that is gameplay of Forbidden Desert. Let me go over a few of the cards, the equipment cards here. The solar shield, the jetpack, you can move anywhere to any unblocked tile and grab somebody with you. When you have the cool jetpack, these are all cool, like steampunk equipments. I like the art as well. I'm not a huge steampunk fan. I mean, I like it, but I mean, I digress. So the terrascope here, you get to peek under an excavated tile before you actually do it. The Doom Buggy allows you to take all sand off of one tile. The time throttle allows you to take 2 more actions. A secret water preserve gives somebody water, and I think that is all of them. So yes, let's go over the last cards. The explorers. The water carrier is pretty neat. He has a lot of water. Take 2 water from the excavated water tile for 1 action. So once the well is flipped, normally you wouldn't be able to get water from it, but the water carrier can go back there, use an action, and gather water. And if you're on the same spot as somebody, you can give your water to them. So say if Jim here is dying, the water carrier has a lot of water, he'll go down to like 3 and give him 2. So the water carrier is really nice. Navigator allows you to move any character to anywhere you want. If it's to yourself or wherever it be, you guys can discuss that. So that is an interesting power. Archaeologist clears 2 sand per action, so that's pretty nice. The climber is able to go over these red sand tiles. And this meteorologist, basically it's in her name, she knows the weather, and she can draw up to the level of storm cards and place 1 card on the bottom, so it kind of helps you ignore some of those sun beats down cards. The last one here, my favorite color, the explorer, he can move diagonally, so he breaks that rule. So that is Forbidden Desert. Now let's go into what I think about this game. And that was Forbidden Desert, and let me start by saying, wow. I'm just blown away by this game, no pun intended. GameWright has hit on all cylinders and knocked this one out of the park with production of the components, with the design of the game by Matt Leacock. Let me get into what we always do here on GameVine and give this game a score, a letter grade or a percentage. I gave this game a 95. It's one of my highest rated games yet. I really couldn't find too much that I could say negative about this game, because the price point is just, it's the right price for a board gamer, because we are a bit frugal, and they didn't slack on anything, even with the price being so low. All the cardboard thick components and the wood pawns and the plastic and metal ship. The tin is debatable. I mean, I like tins, they don't bother me, but some people might not. And then Matt Leacock with Forbidden Desert, it's going to be compared to Forbidden Island, but this is a completely different game and much harder. I beat it on novice, and I think I came close on normal. I've only beat it a handful of times, and every time it was on novice. And you can kind of scale it up if you don't think it's hard, but this game is difficult and fun. And with Forbidden Desert, the pieces. I'm sorry, with Forbidden Island, the pieces kind of disappear, and you're trying to gather the pieces, but with Forbidden Desert, the pieces are all laid out here on the board, and you know what you have to do. It's right there once you have revealed it. It's just a matter of getting to that end goal point. So I would say the games are completely different. They do have a flavor of each one, being the same series and all, but I think you can have both in your collection and really appreciate both of them. I mean, Matt Leacock is just the master of cooperative games. No longer are cooperative games for kids. He takes nice, simple, visceral mechanisms and adds difficulty to them to keep them exciting, and that really will bring up in a crowd, and especially for gateway gamers where you don't want to play a competitive game and you still want to play something by a designer that has teeth, and this one certainly does, and you can introduce this to a gateway gamer and everyone have a good experience, and they might go on and look at other games. So I am just in awe with Forbidden Desert. So I want to say thank you so much for GameWright for your support. This is a review copy from them, and they also are sponsoring both the Qwixx giveaway and the Forbidden Desert giveaway that we're going to do today. And I'm going to keep it simple. So if you want to enter the giveaway for Forbidden Desert here, this nicely shrink-wrapped new copy, all you have to do is leave the answer to this question in the comments below. What is the largest desert in the world? So that's it. Look for the winner on the next GameWright review of Loot, and this is, I'm going to give it about 2 weeks or so. So enter fast, please. I really appreciate all your comments, and even if you want to leave other comments other than just the answers, please do. And I hope this review was enjoyable for you folks. Thank you so much for watching GameVine today. My name is Dave, and until the next time that I see you, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all that you play. You heard it here on the GameVine. I'm out.